Native Prairie is important to me because it's a landscape that I've become passionate about through all my schooling and my career to this point. I just really love being out in Native Prairie environment, and I just find that it's really good for your soul, and it's just nice to sit there and it's very peaceful. My favorite thing to see when I go onto a patch of Native Prairie grassland is the birds. There's birds there that you can't find anywhere else in the world, so that's always super cool to see. I also really love looking for wildflowers. Same thing again, there's lots of plants there that are specialized to that specific habitat. So I spend most of my time looking at the sky for birds and the other half looking at the ground looking for flowers. Native grasslands are one of the most endangered and least protective ecosystems in the whole world. So we're really lucky that we still have some native grassland in Saskatchewan and Canada. Unfortunately, less than 20% of native grassland remains in Canada, so we have some, but not a lot. So it's really important that we do protect what we still have left. Another component to that is that because of that degree of habitat loss, the species that depend on those native grasslands have also experienced dramatic population declines. For example, grassland songbirds have declined by over 80% in the last 30 or 40 years, and that's huge. And so lots of those species are now considered at risk and in need of extra protection as well. One of the common misconceptions people often have about native grasslands are that they're just grass, and that's true. They are composed of many, many different species of grass. They also have lots of different species of wildflowers, as well as some shrubs, and there's a whole range of diverse plants that grow around the wetlands. So it's very diverse habitat for a whole host of different species. Another misconception is that they are completely flat, and parts of them are, but there's also a lot of undulating and rolling terrain, as well as some quite steep hills. So it can be for quite the hike in certain landscapes. 3 things that people can do to help conserve native grasslands are: number 1, don't plow it up. If you have intact grassland patches remaining, do everything you can to keep that from getting plowed. We can protect what we have, then that's the best way, honestly. Another thing people can do is support organizations like the Nature Conservancy of Canada. Those organizations work solely to protect native habitats. So one of the focuses in Saskatchewan, and the prairies in particular, are native grasslands. So supporting those organizations is directly contributing to native grassland conservation. And finally, the third thing you can do is manage native grassland habitats in a way that creates a healthy ecosystem. So grassland ecosystems in North America evolved with grazers, so we need to have grazers on the landscapes to have a healthy ecosystem. And since the bison have not been around for a little while, the best proxy we have right now is cattle. So using cattle to create that heterogeneous landscape through grazing would be another way to conserve those grasslands. One fond memory I have of being on native grasslands are the sunrises. My background is in grassland songbird research, and so I've had a lot of early mornings. Those surveys usually start half an hour before dawn, and so I've gotten to see a lot of sunrises on native grassland, and they are gorgeous. I highly recommend get up early one morning and go see it. It's definitely worth it.